Guys, welcome back to another video. This one's not a trip video. I've always wanted to add sort of a component of sort of backyard shed stuff, guy stuff, whatever you want to call it, just stuff that guys tinker with in the shed. So I've normally got something on the go, but I've always said that if you've got a shed, you should have a project in it. It's the devil finds work for idle hands, firm believer in that. It's good for your mental health. I think it's just good for men to have something to tinker away with. As the title will suggest, barn find. Keen eyes might be able to tell what it is without me telling them, but I've known about this car for about 19 years. The guy didn't want to part with it, which is his right. He'd sort of hum and ha, and then he'd get stuck into it, and even I welded a little bit on this car 15 years ago. Did a little bit of work, tried to get it out of him then, but it's been parked up since 2000. I believe this car's been sitting for 24 plus years. One of those things where he started work on it, pulled it apart, and just one thing left to another, it just left in the shed. So I'm gonna run you around the car, just a quick video today, and let me know in the comments if you want to see more of this sort of stuff. Updates on this car. I haven't got a budget for it. This sort of came out of the blue. I happened to run into him again. Like I said, I've been trying to get this car for the better part of 20 years. I happened to run into him the other day, and just in passing, like I normally do, I was like, hey man, you ready to sell me that car again? And he's like, yeah man, actually I am. So I was just like, well, shit. I'm trying to get some cash together. We settled on a price, and then for the last couple of months I've been actually selling old car parts from other projects from years ago. I actually sold some car parts from my first car I had when I was about 16 to buy car parts for this one, which is 2 years, this is 2 years newer. So basically this is like similar to my first car. Funnily enough, it's also a car that my father brought me home from hospital in, so it's got a bit of sentimental value to me. But on this other side of it, the reason this car is worth saving is because not only is it a rare car, but it's a matching numbers car, and the reason it's rare is because it's one of 500. I'll have a look at the compliance plates in a second, I'll tell you, but it's a numbered vehicle. But yeah, I think I'll just walk you around it, but I don't know if I'll put this in the title or not, but this is an Allan Moffat special. So it's an XC 1977 FALLCON 500. And yeah, like I said, it's one of 500 built. Everything's original on it. It's even got the original rims. The only things that aren't original was the interior light. And it's got a little bit of a sound system sort of left over in the back. What else? Oh, the fuel cap. I'll show you the fuel cap in a second. It's not the original fuel cap, but it happens to be one of the most expensive parts, like, you know, $300, $400, $500. But anyway, that's nothing. That's miles down the track. I've got to panel and paint this vehicle and get all the rust cut out and things like that. But on top of that, the engine is sitting here behind me on a stand. The dogs are keeping guard. I've got the bumpers. I've got everything here. It's just a matter of now tinkering away with it. So I'll give you a quick walk around on the car. Right. So this is a GS. I didn't mention that. It's a rally pack. And you can see with the lines on it, this is actually a GT paint code, which is part of the Allan Moffat special. There's a fuel cap I mentioned before. So this is one that was put on a long time ago. Back in the day, they didn't know what fuel caps were worth and whatnot. The original ones didn't have a lock on them. Back in the day, people used to suck the fuel out of them, so they put just the standard one you would have bought at a servo back in the day. Pretty common for the era, but I'll track one down. The motor, as I said, got the dogs on guard. Here she is on a stand. Now this motor was rebuilt 20 odd years ago, and it hasn't moved since. The owner's just turned it over every so often. I've had the sump off it and checked 302, checked all the serial numbers. It's matching numbers to this vehicle. Roller rockers, cam, it's all new pistons. You can see all the cross hatching. This thing hasn't been started, so I'll go through that. I'll give it a bit of a freshen up, new gaskets and seals and whatnot, but technically it should be good to go. I'll run some oil through it. You can still got the engine assembly lube all over everything, so yeah, steel. So yeah, I'll walk you around the car. As you can see, it's had a little bit of work on it before. There's a bit of surface rust and things, you know, a little bit of rust starting to come through on the roof and all that, but from what I've already rubbed back, you can see here, that was rusty as well, you know, and I've just hit it. And it's all clean metal underneath. I come down to the shed to actually film, and I just picked up the grinder and just couldn't help myself. So I've just started rubbing back bits and pieces. You can see here, this was all surface rust all the way across. Just rubbed along here, clean up. I mean, it was pretty much like that. So I'm not too worried. Got those beautiful scoops in the front there that make this car absolutely legendary. I've got to pick up another mirror. It had dual mirrors. Apart from that, the doors, you can see here a little bit of surface rust coming through. But it's the same as this one. And I'll just hit this real quick with one of those paint stripper wheels. Checking out the gutters, and no dramas in the gutters. So a little bit of cleanup on the roof, but nothing I'm too worried about. And the plan is with this car is I want to get the rust converted, and anything that's like a hole I'll cut out myself, and then I'm going to deliver this to a panel beater to do a proper job. I'm pretty good in the backyard, but I want this thing to shine. So this guard here probably needs a little bit of love. Weld something in there. Original 12 slotters. Actually had the original hubcaps for him as well that come with it. You can see where he's pulled it apart and he was ready to go. Original boot lid, everything's colour coded underneath. Bumpers, overriders, everything's there. Very original interior. I think it's got 280 something kilometres on it. Maybe it's miles, I don't know. The dash is a little bit worse for wear, but on the back seat, I'll show you the other side of it. On the back seat, there's a brand new dash pad for it. It's an original AC car. I actually thought these were all power steering, but this one's manual steering, which is, I thought part of the rally pack was that, but I'll have to look into that further. But yeah, roof lining's all in it, seat's still in it, center console still in it. Everything's still there. So, very minimal work on the inside apart from giving it a clean up. I've never known him to smoke in my life, so back in the day, he liked to smoke. And he liked to party. But anyway, what else can I show you on this car? So that's just 5 minutes with a stripper wheel. Probably shouldn't be touching it with bare hands, but I'm just cleaning her up for now. Haven't even, I've got to put some kill rust on it, a little bit of pitting or whatever, but a bit of high fill will get rid of that. So this is number 254 of 500 made Allan Moffat specials. So they used to have a sticker here. It had an Allan Moffat signature and an Australian flag. You can actually buy them, so I'll get that sorted and put one of those back on it, I think. Yeah, original rims, all nice up inside the guards. Not a lot of work, apart from the fact that I have to get a budget together and see how I go. Righto bugger, I already filmed an outro, but I thought I may as well pull the guards off this thing and have a bit of a look, so the video may jump around a little bit, but I'm sure you'll bear with me. So front guards off, no big surprises there. I've started pulling the trim off. So I've gone around, I've just pulled the trims off and whatnot. Actually, this one here was a bit of a mission. Someone's gone to absolute town with the old silicone sealing in. Either way, you can see in there, any of the rust that's come around, it's only just sort of stopped, and I've dug a bit of silicone out, sorry, whatever you want to call it, that Sikaflex or whatever they use. There's absolutely no rust in the corners. Wherever the Sikaflex was, it's actually prevented the rust, so absolutely happy with that. Pulled the side guttering off. I'm actually about to pull the guttering off on the other side. Nothing too bad in there. A little bit there I can weld up. I think that's sort of underneath, like they used to use lead back in the day, but mainly along the top here, there's no dramas at all. This stuff's all just sort of surface rust. I pulled the bonnet off here and given the bonnet a rub back, and there's nothing sort of hiding underneath. It's a pretty good straight bonnet, so got to be happy with that. Front guards, nothing hidden in here. A little bit of surface rust obviously over everything where it was sitting, but no holes. Normally massive big holes in here. Sorry, you have to bear with me with the lighting. It's just started raining outside. I went from sunshine to rain, so, but yeah, no big holes in here or anything. Righto, it's just started raining, so hopefully the sound's all good, but one of these bad boys. These things here, if you bend them or break them, they're going to cost you a fortune. I've seen people using screwdrivers and all manner of things to pry them off, but just a good old bottle opener seems to be like they were made for it. Anyway, I'll show you how we go. You just want to sort of ease up the edge, and just work your way around as you go, gentle so you don't bust it, either side of that. pop, pop, pop. And as you go, you just keep working it. No dents or anything like that. It grips on the outside. You save yourself a few $100 from trying to track down something that you probably won't track down in good condition, because the last guy popped it off with a screwdriver. But anyway, always a little bit extra care when you're on the corners. There you go. Save yourself a few $100, buy yourself a $1.50 bottle opener. Couldn't even tell you where I got that from. There's always one in the shed. Nothing really too bad at all. A little bit of surface crap. These have got like a skimmer bog in them from factory basically. The rust comes down, but this is all, I mean, I'm looking at it through the camera lens and it actually looks a bit shitty, but it's all just surface rust. Again, there was more on the doors, like here. Couldn't help myself before. I just hit it with the with a stripper wheel. There's nothing to worry about through here. Nothing that I'm going to poke a hole in the car, that's for sure. And that's one of the shittier jobs, is to try and rebuild those. This was all rusty here as well, like this sort of stuff. So it just comes back beautiful underneath. So I've got a fair bit of work ahead of me. So yeah, nothing really to worry about. But at the moment, the plan is, I think, I'm gonna sand out the engine bay back to bare metal. We're gonna paint that. I'm thinking I'm gonna just kit out the engine bay, brake lines, get all that done, drop the motor back in, get that started. And that way I can move the car in and out and I can drive it around, in and out of the shed. I can still use it, but then I can drive it to and from panel beaters or whatever I need. But that's the plan at the moment. This is episode 1. If there's an episode 2, I guarantee it'll change, because already today I've jumped from this car to the bike to mowing my lawn, and my ADD is going to be all over the place. So anyway, I'm going to roll the outro that I've already filmed. Thanks guys. Well, not sure what else I can tell you at this point, rather than sort of repairing it as I go, keeping you updated. But what I should mention is that for 20 odd years, 24 years plus, he's been paying the rego. So not only is it a rare car, but it's still registered. So I'm saving money having to put this thing over the pits when I'm done. Technically I could throw the motor back in it now and we could go down the street, but I think I'm a little bit of ways off from that. Righto, that was just a quick walk around of the car. So hit me up in the comments, let me know if you want to actually see some updates and some work being done on this thing, or if I should just stick to bashing my car through the bush and filming some camping trips. Apart from that, I'm going to grab the grinding wheel out. I might whack a little bit of B-roll up of me grinding some things out of it. That's it. Enjoy your weekend, whatever day this is. Enjoy, guys.